Well, hey everyone, how we doing out there today? This is the Flip Flop Investor Show, and I am your host, Todd Bayer, the Flip Flop Investor himself. Oh man, for those of you that don't know, what we do every week is get together and talk about real estate investing here in the Inland Empire, and every week I like to bring on a local expert that knows everything they need to know about what they do in this world. And today we have a very special return guest. Miss Selena Smith. How you doing today, Selena?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
You're not doing awesome?
I'm always awesome.
Always awesome.
Always
Absolutely.
awesome. The awesomest.
Like the Kanye West of awesome, right? Yeah. I hear you.
Absolutely.
So for those of you that don't know, Selena, well, okay, before we get into who Selena really is,
Oh, wow.
we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that it's a new year, 2019,
Happy
obviously.
New Year.
I'm sure everybody out there is well aware of it at this point. If you've been listening to this station at all today, you've heard everybody talking about, New Year's resolutions. So, we thought we would just jump on the bandwagon and do the exact same thing everybody else has been doing.
Super unique stuff.
Super unique,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like red roses on Valentine's
Really
Day.
original. Mhm.
It's absolutely original, and we're going to be the best one of the day.
Absolutely.
Because
Kanye West.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody up to this point today has talked about real estate investing goals.
Mm-mm.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Unless Dave Ramsey was doing something earlier, which I didn't tune in. I got stuff to do during the day. I don't know. Maybe Nick knows in the booth. No idea.
Nope.
Nobody listens to Dave Ramsey. No,
I just got here, man.
Oh, okay. You mean you don't listen when you're not here?
Yes, of course.
Of
What are you
course.
talking about? I just missed today's.
Probably
Don't
in the
get him
shower.
fired.
He was in
Don't
the
get him
shower.
fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point, you got to take care of your personal hygiene, right? Yeah. Okay, so goal setting.
Goal setting.
It's actually, we talked about it last year in January because it's a very common thing people talk about, and especially in real estate, because a lot of people kind of get into the business. They see like the shows on TV and they think, I can do that. Like I should just jump on it and start flipping houses or something, because it seems so simple on TV. And, it's not. It's not simple. I've been doing it a long time and it's still not simple. I might make it look easy to some people, but it's not simple. There's a lot of issues that come along with it
Oh, yeah.
that you probably have no clue even
Yes.
exist.
Yep.
So goal setting is important. For a lot of people in this business, goal setting involves a monetary goal.
Yes. Yes,
So,
it does.
Selena, you've been in kind of in growth. You've been like one of the few people that have been involved in like our whole entities, like everything. You're involved
Yeah.
in like the entire organization.
Yes.
So you see like our organization from the top level, and for those of you that don't know, yes, Selena, she does all the books. She's basically like the controller for all of our, all of the companies,
Yep.
all the entities. So Selena has a big responsibility, and it's a lot of money moving around. That's just how it is in real estate. It's not like we're doing little $10 deals here and there. So, goal setting financially is a big deal in real estate because, people come into this, they want to replace an income or something like that.
Yeah.
And,
I feel like that's the most common one is like I want to quit my job, make this full time and stuff, especially like I'm noticing like the demographic is a little bit older or like you had to have like the young entrepreneurs who are like I'm going to try something cutting edge,
Right.
or like the older generation who's like I'm tired of working this job or like they want to do something more, like establish a retirement plan and stuff. So that's what I'm seeing a lot of.
Absolutely. And we've seen it tons of times. I mean, we have the club, obviously. And so when people come to the club, we get the older crowd, the people that are, say 45 years old or older, they're coming in because they've been working in a career now for a while. And they're like, this is something I've always wanted to do. And, they're like, now it just seems like the best time I should do it. So, they come to the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club and they, want to make it happen. But you're kind of starting at the very bottom.
Yeah.
You're starting in the mailroom essentially of a new career. And we just hired on a new guy who's he works for the lending company with us, and so we just hired him on, and he comes from the film industry. He's been a cameraman for the last like 15 years.
Oh,
And
I
so,
didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I know it's pretty crazy, huh? But he's this is a completely new career, and he's starting not at the bottom, but pretty close to
It's
the bottom.
new. I remember when I
new.
started, it was new. I was like, I'm new here. I'm new here.
I know. I think we got you a shirt that said that, right?
Did you?
Said, I'm new
If
here.
not, I want one. I still want one. I still pretend like I'm new.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Like after coming in, because we took like 3 weeks off for the holidays.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, today I was like, what do I do for a living? Like, what's my job?
Who am I?
I'm like, wait a second, how do I go about this? Yeah, it was a good time.
And then we come back yesterday, and it's like, oh yeah, I have taxes to prepare and all kinds of good
I'm
stuff.
like, oh wow,
Yeah.
there's so many things I do.
Yeah, I know. And we're like, okay, we got to go
Put
do
me
this
in
radio
charge
show.
here.
Whose idea was it for you to come on? Don't you have stuff to do? Now that I'm
do.
thinking about it.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, whatever. It'll still be there when we get
Yeah,
back.
it'll be fine.
But so financial goals for people, like you said, the younger people that come to the club, they're like, they heard from somewhere that, all the richest people in the world have real estate. And so they're thinking, and this is smart. It's a very smart move. I'm not knocking them at all because I got started when I was young. So there's a lot of younger people that come and they're like, very fat behind the ears or whatever you want to call them. They're very excited and they want to, they want to make it happen. But it's, it's ignorance on fire.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
And it's, I love these guys. They're great because, they come in with all the energy and I'd love for that energy to stay. But it's like those people that start working out at the first part of the year. They go to the gym and they just push it as hard as they can. And then a week later, they're just completely kaput, like out of energy. And I guess the goal setting thing is where this all kind of ties together.
Yeah.
Because without your goals, you have no idea what you're setting out to do.
Yeah.
And, it's tough in a new business because if you don't know what this business entails, you're not going to know what to set your goals on.
Yeah.
So we're here to help you guys today.
Yep.
Help you set some goals. And Selena takes a unique approach to goal setting.
I do.
You do. Which you tend to make your goals more of like you start out with like a personal, a personal type of goal. So you'll take a word, right?
Yes.
Now you got to explain this one to me because I don't do this.
It's definitely unique. Like most people will have like the I want to lose 10 pounds, or like I want to fix my credit, or like start a blog or buy a house, or like they have like resolutions and stuff. I normally pick a word for my year that's sort of something that I want to work on or something that I want to sort of define what I do. So for 2018, my word was intent. So everything that I did had a purpose. It had to serve a purpose. And like I would have like serve with intention, like just like these little sayings that like kind of kept me organized and like focused on what I want to sort of work on. To sort of remind me and stuff. So this year is gratitude and humility.
So you picked 2 words for this year.
I did. I feel like I can take on a little bit more, So, so you like that back there?
Yeah.
So, because like we all need to sort of work on things that I feel like in your personal life and in business or anything really, like there's always room for improvement. And to me, figuring out a word kind of helps me navigate through like what's really important. So, working towards like gratitude, being more grateful for things, like it's sort of like a mental shift, instead of saying I'm sorry for this or worrying about certain things, it's more like what do I have to be grateful for? Like there are things in my life that I have that other people don't, so like I want to be more grateful and gracious for those things. And then humility also, is like life is big. There's a lot that goes on, and I've dealt with some pretty tragic stuff recently. So like it kind of it humbles you in a way that lets you know that like you're not really in control of a lot of things. So like realize that everybody's kind of going through something like that. Like we all have like our story. So like kind of bringing it down a notch to like be more humble and like understanding and listen and like so that's sort of like where I go with like my goal setting is like I'll pick a phrase or a word or 2 words and like I'll kind of build my roadmap for my goals around those. And
that's it's a very powerful way to do it, I would think. Last year with your goal being intent, like to make sure everything you do has there's a reason for doing every single thing you did last year. And you had a rough year, I'll be honest. It was it was hard watching it.
Yeah.
Because you lost a few people last year, and it was a very difficult thing to deal with, not just for you but for everybody else. Like many people that know you were very hard hit by it. It was very, very traumatic. So It's amazing. That
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
also.
absolutely. And, it's amazing that you came out of it on top. Like, you're obviously in a much better place mentally now as a result of it. It was, it's intense, I don't know if you want me to mention it on the air or not. I'm like dancing around. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like curious, but
yeah.
You lost a few family members all in one tragic accident.
There was a very tragic accident where I lost my nephew, my cousin, and my aunt all in the same night. I was back in October, so it's still new, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
I'm trying, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
goal setting. I don't want to cry.
I know. I don't want you to cry. I'm not doing.
So we're gonna go there.
I'm not doing the Barbara Walters special where the goal
Yeah.
here is to just get you to,
Yeah.
That was my goal for 2019 is
To make me cry?
Make Selena cry on the air. That's
It happened a lot. Not on
Yep.
the air.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No. We're gonna try to avoid it.
That'd be good.
We don't want to make everybody else uncomfortable.
Nope.
But yeah, so it was. But I mean, you've overcome a lot. Well, there's a lot of people out there that haven't had to deal with that sort of a thing. Like, that's huge, and to overcome it and to be able to, come out of it stronger is, very admirable. I think it's very,
Thank you.
amazing what you've done. So, but goal setting, and you have these 2 words that you're setting this year. So, when you formulate a goal like around these 2 things, like, I know like last year, one goal you had was actually to gain weight.
Yeah. Don't hate me. I'm sorry. It's just a thing, just let me live.
Well, okay. So there, like, a lot of people probably know, like, we used to have a guy that was around a lot, Matt Rock.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Matt's a very physically fit guy,
Yep.
I mean, he's like pretty much like the epitome of what a man in his
Very sculpted.
very, and we love Matt. I love Matt. He's just a great guy. But Matt, his goal at one point in life was to gain weight because he was, the scrawny Chris Evans character before he became Captain America, and he wanted to be Captain America. So in
Yep.
order to do that, it requires like supplementation and like a lot of time in the gym.
lot of
So,
work.
that was basically your goal. It wasn't like you were trying to gain weight because you were just some, like little creature that didn't know what to do, and you're just wandering around the forest
Yeah.
or something. You your intent was to actually. But
That was amazing.
when you told me that you wanted to gain weight, I'm like, huh? Like I want to lose weight. I think most people out there probably
I
want
know.
to lose weight.
Yep.
But it made more sense once you broke it down and explained it was
Yeah.
for exercise.
Yeah.
And for health and
Yes.
some physicality, right?
Yeah.
You want to have some features that
Yep.
certain other people
Bigger
have. That
butt.
you want, yeah, bigger butt.
Let's just
There it is.
keep it real. There it is.
Keep
there
it
it
real.
is. There's that
Yep.
right there.
So some people want a bigger butt. I'm not one of them. So when you set that goal, your intent was because like, how do you do it? You've lived your whole life not being big. It's
Yeah.
just reality.
Yeah.
So you don't know how to gain weight. Like you asked me, because obviously I'm really good at it.
Oh my gosh.
But that's how you have to kind of start a goal, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and same thing with starting a business. Like if you don't know how to do it, you got to ask somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what the club's for. That's what the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club is for. Is for people
Absolutely.
that want to get started in the business but don't know what to do.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that go to it regularly, and they are there to help. All the mentors that are there. Like that's what you go for, is so that you can get an idea of what to do next. So in goal setting, I'd say the first thing you should do is find a mentor.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like, I mean, when like with the gaining weight, like I don't know what I'm doing, so I sought a personal trainer. It's like they're gonna teach me, and like with intention, like if you don't know how to do something, you need to find somebody who's going to be able to help you. There's intent behind that relationship, So, yeah, finding a mentor is huge.
Yeah, and my advice for gaining weight was not the healthiest. It was like drink diet soda.
Oh
and,
yeah, you told me to eat sugary stuff all the time.
Lots of pizza.
Lots of sugary foods and meat.
Yeah, sugary meats. That'd be a
Sugary
great way.
meats, yeah, that's what you told me.
Yep, sugary meats.
I did it.
And yeah, it worked for a little while.
It did for a little while. Yeah.
But it's not the right kind of weight that you want to gain. Probably not. Your trainer was more like have more protein and work out and do these
Much
specific
stricter.
exercises. Yeah,
A lot of calories.
Yeah, it was actually.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah.
it's amazing how much you have to actually eat when you do like high intensity workouts like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's one of my goals this year is to actually stick to the diet, which I was actually doing. I don't know if anybody that watches the show, they might have saw me in like November and was like, oh, he's trimmed down a little bit. And, and right now I'm exactly back to where I was almost,
Welcome back, Todd.
back in like July or
Welcome
August.
back.
So, just starting to back up again. So now it's going to go back down again. Maybe those people that are tuning into YouTube in the next few months will be like, oh, wow, he's trimmed down again.
Yep.
So
We should make you an Instagram. So like we can keep you like accountable for it.
Well,
Be like,
and-
look at where
well-
he's going, like Todd dropping pounds or something.
See, and I'm glad you just said accountability. Accountable, because that's the next part about having a mentor.
Yep.
Is the accountability part of it. Because your trainer, when you show up and he
I
asks
got
what you
yelled at
ate,
so much.
yeah.
Oh,
If you're like, I had some Del Taco on Saturday,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're
burpees.
There you go.
Burpees. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
burpees.
and burpees are a very
They suck.
fun
I hate them.
exercise. That's like where you do the jump
I don't even want to talk about it.
and you do a squat.
Yeah,
and
it's
a
like
push up
a
or something.
prison
A prison
workout.
exercise. Yeah. Hey, it works.
It does. It sucks.
They suck. That's what makes it work.
Yeah.
If it didn't suck, it wouldn't be that effective.
Yeah.
So, accountability, and having a mentor helps you stay accountable. And a good mentor does it anyway.
Yeah.
There's plenty of bad mentors out there.
Yeah.
Business coaches, things like that. But there's, that's the second part. It's like once you set your goal, now you got to be held accountable to it. But setting the goal is kind of tough because, some people come in, they're like, I want to be a real estate investor. It's like, cool. How do you want to do that?
Yeah. Like there's lending. There's like fixing and flipping. There's buying and holding.
And-
Like there's short-term rentals. There's
Yeah.
long-term rentals. There's multifamily residential stuff. There's commercial real estate investing. Like there's
Notes.
wholesaling. There's so much stuff. Like
And
there's so much.
Most people come in, I would say most people come in because they want to flip.
Yeah.
And most people come in thinking you can't flip a house unless you have a ton of money at your
Yeah.
disposal. So they think, I want to wholesale. So wholesaling usually is what most people come in with. Like they've done some homework online. They've probably been on like biggerpockets.com
Yeah.
and they've learned about wholesaling and they that's what I want to do. And I'm like, it's like part of the deal. Like, why would you want to do just that when you could finish the deal and do the rest of it, keep it as a rental or do whatever, and they have their mindset on wholesaling, and it's kind of like a lot of the mentors that have been in the club, like most of them don't wholesale, so it's kind of hard for the wholesalers coming in, for the people in the club to like help them along that path.
Yeah.
So we've done our best. We found a new mentor at the club who specifically focuses on wholesaling now, which is good.
Good.
Because we need somebody
That's
that knows what they're
useful.
doing.
I
It
wanna
is.
talk to them.
You should. Well, you already know them.
I do. I know all of them.
Yeah, it's true. But for the people that aren't familiar with it, they got to come to the club. So that's the hard thing, is setting the goal specifically. And I want to say I had Lisa Mailhot on or something last year. She talked a lot about
My
it.
twin.
Sure, okay. I'm like actually kind of like drawing the similarities. You guys are pretty similar.
That's what people call us in the club. They think we're twins.
Twins.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, twin.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure she's tuning in. Thank you, Lisa, for your continued listenership. But anyway, Lisa was on last year. She was talking about goal setting, and she was very like specific about it. You breaking it down to like a very small piece of like the thing, and like for example, if you want to replace an income, let's just say your income is $5,000 a month. I don't know. If you want to make $5,000 a month, what does that take? On one wholesale deal, you could make $5,000. It's very possible.
Yep.
However, what does it take to get one wholesale deal?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know the steps to do it. They think, okay, I'm just going to put some mailers together and send them out, and people are going to call me, and voila, I'm going to have deals galore.
Yeah.
And then they come to find out that
It's a lot harder than that.
a lot harder than that.
A lot more work.
And a lot more expensive than they probably
Yes.
think. You might have to send out 10,000 pieces of mail
Yeah.
to get enough phone calls, because you're going to have to get from those 10,000 pieces of mail, you're going to have to get 100, phone calls.
Yeah.
And then from those 100 phone calls, you're going to get one deal.
Yeah.
That's about the math. So 10,000 pieces of mail, if you're doing it on the cheap, is like $1. So you got to spend about $10,000 on marketing to get one deal.
Yeah.
And on one deal, if you're only going to make $5,000, you lost $5,000.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
it's a big thing if you want to do that by mailing.
Yeah.
It's when you're new at it, that's just the math. That's how it works out. So if you're going to do that, how are you going to make $5,000 a month? Well, when you do your wholesale fee, you're going to have to make $15,000,
In order to make a profit.
In order to make
and
$5,000.
cover your expenses. Yep.
and you have to have $10,000 to start off. That's the problem, is that a lot of people think that you can start off as a wholesaler with no money. But if you're going to do it right, you have to be able to spend some money on marketing. You know, otherwise, the other option is to door knock, which is basically free. But you're cold knocking. I mean, you're cold knocking on doors.
Nobody likes that.
Not
Unless
a lot.
they're lonely, you know?
Which happens.
Yeah, but, oh, yikes. Door knocking.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
Yes.
Who'd you go with?
Yes, I went, me and Sienna, my daughter.
Oh,
I have
your
a
daughter, okay.
5-year-old daughter.
Okay.
I have a horror story,
Okay.
and I never did it again.
We got to hear it.
Okay, so we went door knocking, and
Whereabouts? Like what city?
I want to say it was the city of Paris,
Okay.
California.
Okay.
So it's a good one.
It's a great spot.
Yeah,
I've done plenty of deals in Paris.
Oh, yeah. But it was a default that I got a lead on, and
Okay, these people had defaulted on their mortgage.
yeah, and it was this man and his 2 kids, and his kids answered the door, and I was like, "Hi, is your mom or dad home?" You know, and like I had my little business card, my little pamphlet that kind of explained what I was gonna do and stuff like that, you know, and like I handed it over to him, and I was like, "I understand that like you defaulted, and you know, like you're facing foreclosure. I want to help you, you know, like that's what we do." He yelled at me, threatened me, like ran me off of his property with I think she was 3 at the time, my 3-year-old daughter. It was terrifying. And I was like, nope, I'm done. I don't care. I don't want this. I'm never doing this again. Nope, I don't care. I'm done. So yeah, that was one of my first and last attempts at door knocking.
Yep, that's I mean, it's not uncommon. I've heard of that same thing happening, and
Yep.
it's not just to women, it's happened to men. Like it's you know, when people default on their mortgage, a lot of times they're in denial about the fact
and
that they're
it's
going to lose the
stressful.
house.
And it's
Very
like
much.
it's embarrassing for a lot of people, you know, like
That
you got to
too.
take that into account.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that don't know that when you get a foreclosure, when they file that notice of default, it becomes public information, and everybody that has access to that information knows it. You know, and they show up on lists. You're gonna get a bunch of people showing up at your door. You're gonna get mail. You're gonna get phone calls from people that want to buy the house. These are, you know, other real estate investors, and
Like it's strategic too. Like you don't
Sure.
just get those mailers saying like, oh, you know, like facing hard times for no reason,
Right.
you know?
And it's funny because I've seen some of these pieces of mail that these people get. Like I'm like, who does your marketing? This is terrible.
Yeah, they're kind of bad, some of them.
Yeah. And so, you know, but it happens, and it's, you know, foreclosures were the tough ones to deal with. You know, the easier ones to deal with, at least in my experience, have been people that just have an extra house.
Yeah.
That's an inconvenient thing for them.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's something they inherited from mom and dad, and, you know, it's just a house that's vacant and they live out of state. Like, those are the easy ones. They're like, look, I just want to get rid of this thing, and I'll take whatever you can give me. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm like, this is the best I can do. But that's how we make our offers. We're always
Yeah.
making our best offer first.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people work on the lowball theory, and they make a lowball offer and try to negotiate from there. But
Yeah.
we don't do it that way.
No.
It's a waste of time. Negotiation wastes a lot of time in a
Yeah,
deal.
it
So
does.
we can just say this is the best we can do, and we close.
Yeah.
You know, and that seems to work pretty well. People like the honesty.
Yep.
Some people, they want to be told that they're going to get their full price for their home, and then later on realize they're not getting full price.
Yeah.
Because full price is very different when you're talking to an investor.
Yep.
But anyway, it's a crazy story.
Yes.
Door knocking. But that's another way people go about doing it. So, but you still got to knock on like 100 doors. You have to make contact
Yeah.
with 100 people.
Yep.
And if you're knocking on doors, like 1 out of 5 aren't going to answer. I mean, I'm sorry, 4 out of 5 are not going to answer the door.
Yep. They really don't.
Because they have a peephole and they're like, I don't know who this person is. I'm not going to answer.
Yep.
You know, you can hear music in the house, the TV going. You know, you can even hear somebody breathing at the door because they're looking at you through the peephole, but
Yeah, they're not going to answer.
they're not answering because they don't know you. You know, so
I do it all the time. I avoid everybody unless you're like the pizza delivery guy. I don't talk to you.
yeah, I know, or
Okay.
the DoorDash person, yeah.
Yes.
But
Those are
they-
important. Or Amazon.
Amazon's a good one. But you know, you can't even tell it's Amazon sometimes. They're
No.
just dressed in regular street clothes.
Yeah.
I'm like, wear a shirt or something,
Like
hat.
they show up in like their Corolla. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
I know. I kind of like it. I like the model. Thanks, Jeff Bezos. But
Yeah.
it's also kind of weird. Like, you know, you're just answering the door to a stranger that
Yeah.
I didn't know was coming.
Yeah.
It'd be different if it was like DoorDash, where you get a text or something.
Yeah.
It says Amazon's coming right now. They're
Yep.
pulling down your street. You know, I don't know. Something you guys can work out in the future.
Yes. Amazon.
Amazon.
Because they're listening.
Yes, they are, as they should be. But you know, if they want to improve their business, they should be listening.
They should be. If they want to invest in real estate, they should be listening.
Yeah, setting goals.
Yes.
You know,
Goal
improve
setting.
improve your business, Amazon.
Yes.
So what was I saying about that? It was something awesome.
Accountability.
Accountability. That wasn't going back there yet, but I was getting there.
Okay.
It
That's where I left off
I
after
know.
we trailed.
Oh, knocking on doors, 100,
Yes.
100 doors. So 4 out of 5 people aren't going to answer. 1 out of 5 is going to. So that means you have to knock on like 500 doors in order to get 100 people to answer. And of those 100 people that answer, one of them might end up selling your house.
Yeah.
You're going to deal with probably, 8 to 10 of them that might want to sell their house, but you're going to come back to them and you're going to deal with them and try to get them to sell, and they're not going to want your price, and or they're actually a tenant and they were lying to you and they're trying to sell their landlord's house, but one of those 100, if the numbers work out, should probably sell. That's not a guarantee, obviously. That could be much more than that, but it's free. It just takes a lot of time. I don't know how long you think, but if you go up and knock on a door, if nobody answers, you can be in and out of there in a minute. But if they answer, you might have to stand at the door talking to them for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And get their information.
Or like just driving around to different neighborhoods and stuff too. Like it takes up your gas, takes up your time, commuting,
Exactly. And if you're working a full-time job, when are you going to do this?
Yeah.
So when you're setting your goal, it's like, I need to, every single week, I need to knock on, let's just call it, if you say it's 100, if I need to talk to 100 people a week in order to get one deal a week.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just call it a month.
Yeah.
Like 100 a week is for someone that's doing it full time.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it every month, 100 people a month means you got to be talking to 20 people, like a week.
Yeah.
25 people a week. So that's what, 5 a day?
Yeah.
If you're doing like every week.
Yeah.
So
Monday through Friday.
50 houses a day you got to knock on? Maybe? No, not 50, 25. 25 houses. You have to knock on 25 doors to get 5 people to answer. And hopefully one of those people will come back and sell you their house.
Yep.
It's a lot of work. It's footwork. That's where the term comes from.
Yep.
So setting a goal, you want to like make it very specific. Like I'm going to knock on 5 houses a day, or 25 houses a day, or whatever the number comes out to be, if that's what you want to do. So, but it's hard to know that. It's hard to know what to set.
It is, which is why I feel like you really should take advantage of your mentor and make sure that you have somebody who knows what they're doing, because there's a lot of stuff that you don't know, and like unless you're sitting down and you're Googling and YouTubing and talking to a ton of different people and like you're self-motivated, like it's really hard to get all of the information, like real experience that somebody who does it all the time will be able to give you. I think that like when you're going to be setting your goals in real estate, I feel like you need to make a very intellectual decision on them and be educated about like the reality of it, So like you need to understand like, okay, I want to make $5,000 a month, like he just broke it down for you. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to need to do that isn't just going to be like glitz and glam and like I'm going to find this on the internet and it's going to be super quick and it's going to be, I'm going to be able to close in 3 days and have $5,000 in my bank account wired to me within 7, like it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes, sure, you could get lucky that way, but the majority of the time, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. It's not that quick. So like,
I had a guy that one time I met, the first person he ever called on Craigslist, he was calling ads on Craigslist. The first one he ever called resulted in a deal, which is a curse.
See?
It was a curse for him because he felt that was the best way to do it. Was on Craigslist. That's the only deal he ever got from Craigslist.
Wow.
But, it was like the first phone call. Like he just lucked out and got the first person, that he called.
That's lucky.
That was extremely lucky,
I got yelled at my first time.
Calling a number on Craigslist.
No, door knocking. The first time I ever talked to anybody.
We went over that. It was crazy.
Yes.
Like people screaming at you. I've heard pretty crazy stuff with pre-foreclosures. Something I've just never chased.
Yeah. I've
never gone down that road. There's people that are much better at it than me, and kudos to them. There's plenty of deals out there for everybody.
Yep.
So the goal setting, it's like sometimes you have to employ multiple methods. I've told people too, like literally you could just call people out of the phone book. You're gonna have the same probability, it seems. People in the phone book are probably older anyway.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anybody that's like younger than 30 that has an ad in the phone book, which means they probably don't own a home, and
Yeah.
So I don't know. Nobody really puts their
I
number
would
in the
never
phone book.
advertise my phone number in there. Ugh, don't call me.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It used to be crazy.
Right?
Like you can just call up information and they
Yep.
would be able to give you the number. It's not that easy anymore.
Nope.
It used to be like you could skip trace people so much easier. It
Yeah.
seems like, but it's hard now. People can get a burner phone or burner number and
Yep.
get a new cell phone tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
and you can't get a hold of them anymore.
Yep.
So it's crazy. My son got a phone number that somebody must have used as a burner phone or something.
Oh my gosh.
So like he gets like texts and emails and like not emails but phone calls and texts like all the time from bill collectors and
Oh wow.
like,
That's a good time.
and like advertisements like this
Oh.
person must have just signed up for every survey or like every win this car or like win this house. They must have signed up for everything because he gets calls all day. I think I've blocked like over 100 numbers on his phone.
Poor baby.
I know it is like and like I'm sure I could have just gone
That's
to
gotta
the
be so stressful.
yeah. Well, for him, because he thinks all
He's
these
just
people want to
gonna-
talk to him.
Yeah, he's gonna start out like in the world like, wow, like this is what it's like. It's just this overload.
It is. And that's why I tell him, like, okay, so you see that thing at the fair, you want to go, like, put your name, your information in there?
Don't ever do it.
Yeah, don't do that, because you're going to get those phone calls from people trying to sell you timeshares.
Teach him
and-
young.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it could be a blessing.
I should make him answer all those phone
You
calls.
should have him listen to them and be
Have
like,
him-
this is what you don't do.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, I'm 10. I can't even do this if I wanted to. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun.
That would
Maybe.
be.
I'm gonna unlock all of them and see how it goes.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah, so goals.
Goals.
Yeah, we were talking about goals.
We were.
Because nobody else is talking about it
Nobody
today.
else is talking about goals. No.
Not at all this week. So, yeah, setting those goals is very important. And getting
Yes.
a mentor, having the mentor hold you accountable.
Yes.
Obviously are big things.
Yes.
And then you actually have to put these things into practice. That's
Yes.
that's the hard thing, I think, for most people.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you have like an exercise goal,
Yeah.
or a weight goal of some
Yep.
kind. Like you have to stick to these things.
Yep.
And that's, it's hard. You're changing a habit.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you can have the best mentor in the world who's going to text you and call you every single day, and just be like really on you. But like, unless you're willing to put in the work and you're going to commit to, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
Like you also have to have that drive. You also need to get up, and put in work, or you're not going
Right.
to get anywhere.
It's tough. I mean, imagine starting brand new at your current job.
Yep.
At what you currently do. Imagine having to start brand new from today.
Yeah.
And you don't know anything. Like, it would be like you realize how much work you've put in over the time.
Yeah.
And that's where how you've gotten to where you are.
Yeah.
But, trying to do that from scratch, like it's, you are starting from brand new.
Yeah.
And it's a real estate goal in the beginning is very, very complicated.
Uh-huh.
It's so easy to say I want to flip a house, but it actually requires a lot of effort, a lot of work,
Yes.
a lot of frustration.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're going to get told no, like
A lot.
a ton. You're going to get yelled at. You're
Yep.
going to get lots of things. These happen,
Not everything's going to go perfectly from point A to point B, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, and it's obviously a very rewarding career. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I love it. I love real estate. I'm going to do this forever. But
Yes.
there's people out there that they can't take it. They can't take
Yeah.
the pressure and everything like that. So they kind of get involved. They're really excited and like pumped up about it for like a month or two, and then it gets hard and they're not getting any deals, and
Yeah.
they're so willing to walk away.
Uh-huh.
But you have to keep that drive.
It's a long process.
It is.
Like you need commitment and patience.
And setting smaller goals sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, I want to replace my income. Great. You'll probably be at that point in about 5 years.
Yeah.
Like that seems to be about the average.
Yeah.
Where you can actually quit your job and like do this full time.
Yep.
Like unless you have another job in the real estate industry, because I think if you work in the real estate industry, you could probably do it a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you already know a lot of the terminology.
Yeah.
You know sort of the mechanics of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're new, like if you're doing something completely different than real estate right now,
Yep.
it's going to be about 5 years, I'd say, before you can actually replace your income with real estate.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
And like where you'd actually feel comfortable quitting your job and walking away from your benefits that are now going
Yeah.
to cost you more money.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And like you could fix and flip a home, and you could make like 50 grand, which would probably supplement your income maybe for a year, but it might not happen that way the next year, like you need to get to a point where it's stable and like you sort of have like a plan in place. So like I think 5 years is a good mark.
Yeah, it is.
It's realistic.
It is. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. People come
Yeah.
in, like people that have started out, like, let's see, we started the club in 2014, and here we are in 2019. Like, there's some of the people that were coming in the beginning that are like, they've stuck with it, and like they're just now coming into their own right now.
Dude, yeah. Some
Actually,
of them are
there's-
doing really good.
They actually are. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, because it's going to be 5 years this year that we've had the club going. So
Aw,
yeah, I know, it's crazy.
that's it. That's kind of like a milestone.
It is. It's a milestone, but it's kind of nice, like, thinking of it from another side, like, on the mentor side, where I've helped a lot of people get
Yeah.
there, and like it's cool to see these people that actually stick it out and persist, and deal with the lows. I mean, you're gonna have no money,
Yeah.
at a time where you need a lot of money, to
Yep.
like make a rent payment or something. Like,
Yep.
there's gonna be plenty of times where you're just gonna be completely flat broke and negative in your account, and we've all been there.
Yep.
Yep. It's fun. It's fun when you go in there. It's those spots.
It's a good time.
But, for the people that are fighters, they don't sit there and mope and, wallow in their own self-pity during those times. The people that are going to come out on top are the people that push through that time
Yep.
and just make it happen, because that's what you have to do.
Yep.
Being an entrepreneur means being a fighter and sticking
Yes.
it out and just, not giving up.
Yep.
Like, that's what it is.
Yep.
And so keeping your goals, like just having like that passion to just stick to it all year long is so crucial. And I don't know how to impress it upon people enough, but setting smaller goals throughout the year might be a little bit better. Like they say, even with weight loss, you shouldn't say like, I want to lose 100 pounds. It's like, instead like I want to lose, 5 pounds by the end of the month or something like that. Something simple that can actually be
Short-term
done.
goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas like maybe if you're trying to wholesale, instead of, saying, I want to make $5,000 this month, or I'm going to do 10 wholesale deals this month. I love these guys.
Yeah.
But, instead set your goal on getting to that point. Like, I want to talk to 10 homeowners this month.
Yeah.
And that can be easy. You can talk to 10 people that aren't going to sell and just practice on them. Go to a yard sale. I always tell people, go to a yard sale. The homeowners are there. They're out in front. They want you to come on their property.
Yep.
Go talk to them. Ask if they're selling the house. It said, like, the sign said yard sale. Are you selling the house too?
Yeah. They'd probably laugh, and then you're like, no, like I'm serious.
I'm serious. Yeah. And I am actually.
Yeah.
I've said that to people at yard sales, and you usually get a chuckle. Then they kind of like, are you serious? You're like, yeah. How much you want? And they're like, oh, $1 million. Be like, cool. Can I move in tomorrow? It's kind of fun, because when you know how to work a creative deal, I could pay somebody $1 million for their house.
Yeah.
It might take me 75 years to pay it off.
Yep.
But I'll buy it from you for $1 million.
Yep.
It's just, this is how much I can afford per month for it right now.
Yes.
Because I know I can rent it for $1,500, but I can pay you $1,250 a month. And I can sublease it out to somebody else for $1,500 and make a $250 a month spread.
Cash flow positive investment.
Exactly.
Look at you.
And they're going to get paid off over the next 75 years. Their kids and grandkids are going to love them for it.
Yep.
When they finally are free and clear of the house, it's probably worth well over $1 million.
Yes.
That I paid them $1 million for over 75 years.
Yep.
But that's creative deals. And you know what? They might go for it. You never know.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, you never know till you ask, right?
Yes.
I think we were kind of talking about this at lunch today.
Yeah.
Like, you see a good looking person in the bar, you don't know what they're going to do until you ask, they might be willing to go on a date with you. Steve brought it up at lunch.
Oh my gosh.
It was all Steven.
Yeah.
He was talking about what kind of things he could do at a bar
Oh,
back when
okay.
he was single.
Whew.
And yeah.
I'm turning red. I can see myself from here.
It was pretty funny.
Goal setting.
Goal setting. Well, I mean, that's another goal, right? Before you go out for the night, you're going to say, like, I'm going to go to this bar. I want to meet the man of my
short-term
dreams.
goals.
Short-term goals.
I would never say I'm going to meet the man of my dreams at a bar, though.
At the very least, I want to make a connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the very least, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's a goal when you're going out.
That's a goal.
And, doing this contouring to my face is going to make that all happen.
Absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
only guys could do that. Guys
They
can't
can.
contour.
They totally can.
They can? You
They're-
got to be kidding me. There's
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
If a guy showed up wearing makeup, like, you'd be.
Is it like, does he have like a very chiseled jawline and like
Only because of the
a
contouring.
six-pack? Perfect.
Only because of the contouring.
Perfect. I'm just there to make a connection. I want to make a
That's
connection
true.
with the jawline.
Okay, women are way less superficial than men. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Women can actually see past a man's outer appearance and say, I like this person because he's, whatever.
Yeah.
He's fun, he's honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what women see in men. I personally don't get it. Men are gross.
I'm not gonna make a comment.
Okay, no comment. Anyway, going back to goal setting.
Goal setting.
Small goals. Small goals is what you want to set. So.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I know.
This is so good.
It's hard to talk for an hour about goals. I just found out.
Yeah.
No, it actually is easy. I mean, there's a lot of steps to it. You know, the mentor is the big part of it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be really
Especially
hard.
when you're new.
Yeah, because it's going to be hard going at it alone.
Yep.
I mean, even when you start a new job, you're going to get like an employee handbook.
Yeah.
That's your mentor.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get, probably somebody's going to be with you, making sure you don't completely screw everything up. On your first day, they're going to make sure you're not,
Is that what you were supposed to do for me?
Yes.
Okay.
And I did. I walked you through it step by step. I was like, this is QuickBooks. Nobody knows what they're doing with this. Figure that out.
Yep.
And I don't think we haven't gotten it right yet, have we? QuickBooks,
No,
it's like
we did.
91% there. It's there.
It's like 97% there.
97?
I feel. I'm pretty confident in it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna call up a QuickBooks expert and see.
Okay. I'm sweating.
Yeah, I know. Now it's gonna be tough.
Now it's gonna be really tough.
But when you first start, you're supposed to have like a handbook, which is supposed to say this is what you're supposed to do. Here's all the policies and procedures, and don't do these things. Do these things. This is how your vacation works. Like you don't get that as a real estate investor.
No.
Nobody's going to hand you a handbook and say this is what you need to do.
Well, it's the Wild West, and like you're out there on your own. Like this is something that you do as an entrepreneur, as somebody who wants to get out there and thrive on their own. Like I don't want to go into real estate to have a boss.
Right. That's what most people are trying to get away from.
Exactly. Like fixing and flipping to me is like financial freedom and
freedom just in general.
Yeah.
Like
I can travel and work from home or do whatever I want to a house. Like just there's a lot of freedom. There's a lot of independence.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like people get into real estate to have like that like guidance and like that hand holding thing. Like they want to get away from that.
It's so hard. I mean, like you really got to like, kind of follow before you can lead. Like, you do have to sort of like follow somebody else's lead before you can just jump in yourself and say, okay, I have the confidence now that I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Like I've mentored a ton of people, and like I always tell them, like, I don't expect you to continue working with me. Like I know that in the beginning. The goal for everybody is to be off on their own, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But like, I'm going to help you kind of get to a certain point, but at some point you're not going to need me anymore, and I'm not going to sit here and try to keep you around.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah, like I'd rather focus on the next person, and you'd rather focus on yourself and go off and do your own thing, which you should. You know, like it's very liberating. It's awesome. I've been gainfully unemployed for like 14 years now.
Nice.
So like I haven't had a job. I haven't had a boss. It's been, it's been very awesome.
Yeah.
It's been Kanye West awesome. So that's what people that's what people want. Like I think they see the sexy side of being an entrepreneur, being your own boss, but the reality is
a lot of work.
I mean, when you're your own boss, you actually have to hold yourself accountable like a boss would do.
Yes.
And you do have things you have to do. Like you can't just show up at Starbucks and bring your laptop and sit there and punch on your keyboard for a little bit and sip your coffee. Like you're not going to get much done in real estate doing that.
And there's a lot of people that depend on you as well. Like you got to kind of keep the train moving.
Yep, exactly. Especially like once you get to a certain level, like where you actually have people like employees and contractors and even realtors and escrow, all these different people that are involved in every transaction. After a little while, they're like, okay, I know I'm going to get at least X number of deals from this person over here. So you sort of you're being held accountable to them. To like keep showing up and keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
So setting goals is a tough thing, but it becomes easier when you have a mentor.
Yeah.
Especially in this business, it's just that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And I think the best place to get a mentor for real estate investing here in the Inland Empire is the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club.
Absolutely.
You've been to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of times.
plenty of times.
I know all of the mentors.
You do know all the mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they've all got their own areas of expertise. Like,
They all do.
you know, we have a guy who does flipping.
Mm-hmm.
We have a guy who does very creative deals with mobile homes.
Yeah.
We've got a guy who does long-term holds, you know, property management. We have a guy that does short-term rentals, things like Airbnb. We have the guys that do construction, you know, which is another way of investing in real estate, by the way. You know, then we have guys that do wholesaling. And then we have the realtor who, you know, helps work with real estate investors, because there's a lot of realtors that come that, you know, they don't know what to do. You know, they hear about investors and they're like, I wish I had an investor client, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you need to learn the lingo. You need to learn how investors work. So you should come to the club and get to know Lisa. Lisa's our realtor mentor.
Yep.
Where if you are a realtor and
She's
you want to,
amazing.
she is. She's great, and she sets goals. Last
She's
year,
done so much. Like, she
Oh, man.
set goals and she crushed the hell out of them.
yes, she did.
was
Last year,
amazing.
she surpassed all of her goals.
Dude, yeah.
But, you know, she wrote her goals out. Not only did she write them out, she posted them on like every social media outlet she has.
Yeah, she held
because
herself accountable.
Not just herself, but she had other people holding her accountable.
Absolutely.
You know, like I picked on her a couple times about them.
Yep.
You know, like, hey, how's this goal coming? You know, and she, you know, she always had like a witty comeback, you know, but she did it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she surpassed her deal threshold. I think she wanted to do, what was it, like 36 deals, and she did like 54 or something.
Something wild like that. I was when she wrote about it on Facebook, I was like, wow, damn. You go, girl. Yes.
Yep, she did good.
She did so good. That was amazing.
So, you know, good for Lisa. But
Yes.
but yeah,
Also good for goal setting.
It is good for goal setting, and it's
Yes.
good for, you know, for the other people in the group, because she's also worked with a lot of other people in the club as a mentor. So that's what the club's for.
Yes.
And the club's pretty easy. All you got to do is show up.
Yep.
We have a big monthly meeting every single month on the fourth Wednesday. So this month in January, it's going to be on January 23rd at the Mission Inn. That's at 6:30 p.m. Yeah, we basically get there and everybody shows up. We have kind of an agenda on the big monthly meeting where people talk about, you know, different stuff. And we have a special guest every month where we interview them live on stage and get to find out all their secrets about how they've made it so big in real estate. But always before the big monthly meeting, we have the Saturday morning coffee, which is on Saturday the 19th of January. That one's where we get together at Lift Coffee in Riverside off of Chicago. This is, we did coffee there for a little while.
Yeah.
And then they closed.
Yeah.
And like, we had no idea what happened to them. So
Yeah.
we tried to find a new home for the coffee event, and, you know, we struggled a little bit. So they're open again and
Yeah.
excited to have us. So
That place is awesome too. Their coffee is amazing.
yeah, it is. And like we were all, like, everybody was bummed. Everybody loved it. The atmosphere is cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, we kind of take over the place. We're kind of
Yeah.
a big group. So but they love it because they're selling a bunch of coffee. So yeah, definitely come on out to the Saturday morning coffee, January 19th. It'll be a lot of fun. And you missed it last night was cash flow game. So if anybody wanted to go to it, you missed it. But we'll do it again the first Wednesday of February. And that's a board game called Cash Flow where people, it's a board game. So you have to play this game where you're trying to get out of the rat race. You know, and you start out, you're given like a job.
Yeah.
You know, like you're a teacher. And the teacher has this salary. You know, you've got no dependents. You know, your apartment costs this much per month. And you have to basically like survive as a teacher, but then also start investing in real estate.
Yeah.
And it teaches you how to really like put together creative deals. And a lot of our mentors are, and a lot of our cash flow oriented mentors are there. So that's a good one to go to if you want to learn that kind of investment strategy. So that's always on the first Wednesday of the month.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun.
It is.
Anything you want to add to that?
My favorites are the coffee and the big meeting. Coffee's really relaxed. It's a little bit less formal than the big meeting, and it's kind of like a time to sort of build relationships on like a more comfortable level. Like you don't feel like you're at like a job interview or anything. Like it's just like making friends, like just a networking event that's like super casual, super fun, you know, and like just really laid back. And then the big meeting I feel is really informational. So like if you guys can make it out, I definitely recommend like a pen and a pad of paper, like take notes and like listen and really try to absorb that information.
It's also, we give you plenty of downtime to network and stuff too.
Yes.
So There's still plenty of people to meet.
Yep.
But one thing I do like about Saturday morning coffee is that a lot of people come to that because they can't come during the week.
Yeah.
So we get to meet the people that work nights or you know, work in evenings or work during the week, and they can't be out late. 'Cause the big meeting each month ends at 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that's a little too late for them. They still have to drive home, and then they have to get ready for bed and all that.
Yeah.
So they like to be in bed by 9 o'clock, and it's kind of tough. So we've actually had a lot of people tell us because we once asked, we're like, why do you guys leave early? Why do people leave early? And we had a lot of people fill out our survey, and they said, I have kids, like the babysitter, or I have a job, or different things. They can't stay out that late. So it's tough, but hey, there's a lot of people that come to the club that are in transition. They're in year 2 of their real estate investment world, but they haven't been able to quit that 9 to 5 yet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that come, and it's nice talking to them. Because you get to see how it's coming for them and how they make it work into their schedule. Which it's another full-time job. I mean, it's
it is.
You figure you just worked a full day, now you got to go home and put in more hours doing something else. So the people that are able to do the 9 to 5 and succeed in real estate, I mean, hats off to them, because they work.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's more than double hard, especially if they have kids. It's that's 3 full-time jobs all in one. So the people that are able to pull that off, I'm just amazed by these people. But they're there. There's people that come to the club. You can meet them and talk to them, find out how they did it. And I guarantee you it's because they sat down at one point and with intent looked at their calendar.
Yes.
And they said, what am I doing every single day? And it's very likely that they probably cut out things like, TV. And, they probably cut out Facebook.
Yep.
They probably cut out anything that's a distraction from their life.
Yep.
For what they're trying to do. They probably cut that out of their lives entirely.
Yep.
And they've decided, okay, maybe I don't need to sleep 8 hours. Maybe I can get away with 7 hours.
Yeah.
And for the first hour of the day, I'm going to kind of have my coffee and start laying out, some people I'm going to contact later on in the day on my lunch hour. I know one lady that came to the club, she would do that all the time. She would, her lunch hour was devoted to her calling people that she was trying to do deals with.
Yep.
And,
it's a lot of sacrifice that needs to be made.
It's, it's not easy.
Nope.
For the people like us, we can do it all day. But for them, they have to do it when the time arises.
Yep.
And they got to find those gaps and create the gaps in their schedule. So, come to the club.
Yes.
Come to the club, meet the people.
Yep.
If you don't know how to get to the club, or if you want more information, you can always go to meetup.com.
Yes.
And look up the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. That's where all the information is. It has all the upcoming events on there, all the dates and times. You can see who all the members are, and you can also send direct messages to people on there. And it's it's great. We have a big community.
Yes, we do.
So, any final thoughts? About goal setting?
I feel like my takeaway from this whole conversation and what really needs to go into your goal setting is intent, commitment, a mentor, guidance, yes, structure,
okay,
accountability, sacrifice as well. You kind of just have to prepare for those things. When you're setting your goals, you really need to be able to set aside that time and put forth the actual effort. I feel like that's my biggest takeaway.
Absolutely.
From this conversation when goal setting.
And that's great. Hopefully you've made your goals and you've written them down, because that's obviously another big part is writing them down.
Yes.
Looking at them regularly.
Put it into the universe.
Yep, put it in the universe and then look at them, make sure you know what they are and everything. So anyway, hope everybody has a great 2019.